Bitcoin is very exciting. I love Bitcoin. Billionaires and hedge funds love Bitcoin. Bitcoin's probably going to pull a 10x from its current price during this bull run, which is just mind-melting insanity. Especially if you're clever enough to buy that Bitcoin under $10,000, you're going to be sitting very, very nice. But here's a straight dope for you. Unless you are already loaded up with cash or loaded up with cheap Bitcoin, then it is altcoins, not Bitcoin, that are going to make you rich during this bull run. Bitcoin is for keeping your gains. Altcoins will be for making the gains. The sooner you understand this and leverage that advantage, the more gains you will make. My name is Lark, and this is where you subscribe for all of the hottest and all of the latest happening out here in the crazy markets. And if you are not yet a member to the weekly Wealth Mastery Investor Report, then now is a great time to join, as we're just kind of on the cusp of this insane bull. In fact, we're already in it. We're in the bull run. It's crazy, but it's just going to get so much crazier as 2021 rolls out. Now, anyway, every week you're going to be getting a deep dive altcoin report, a trending coin report, top tier technical analysis. We do a DeFi tutorial. There's an interview with an industry leader every week. We do stock tips as well. We're looking at new token sales and airdrops, top news, all that stuff, and much, much more for less than $10 a week, making this one of the most value-packed and yet at the same time affordable investor reports out there on the market. Now you can go ahead and click on the link down below in the description where you can learn more about becoming a member today. Okay, so first I just want to say that you do not need to have kind of altcoin season like happened in that 2 or 3 week period at the end of 2017 to be able to make money with altcoins. I feel like a lot of people are sitting around waiting for that moment when their old junky bags are somehow magically going to come back to life, and when all the coins are mooning by like a few hundred% in 1 week. Here's the secret. You don't need to wait for that to happen to start making big gains with altcoins. It's happening all the time. In fact, 2020 was just absolutely insane. I think 2021 is just going to be mind-boggling. Absolutely. I've had some incredibly big gainers this year. I had like a 50x, a 20x, a few 10x coins, lots of 5, 6, 7, 8x coins. Like, it's been crazy, guys. It's been crazy. It's absolutely awesome, right? There will be bigger gains yet to come. That's the exciting thing. The next few months could be one of the best financial periods of your life if you play your cards right. Now, this is when you can actually watch like a few $1,000s invested into the right coins turn into like a few $100,000. You think that sounds crazy? You think old Lark's been hitting the hopium bong a little bit too hard again? Well, let me tell you this. Those kind of gains are exactly what happened during the last bull run. Coins saw multi-1,000% gains in very short periods of time. For example, Digibyte did like 17,000% gain in just a few weeks' time. That's incredible. So if you'd put $10,000 into Digibyte, 6 weeks later or whatever, you could have made $1.7 million. NEM did something like that as well, 82,000% gain in 2017. Now, if you put $10,000 in NEM at the start of 2017, cashed out at the end of 2017, you walk away with $8.2 million. That's insane. And by the way, NEM started that year with like a $30 million market cap, so it wasn't like some super obscure micro cap coin. It had a decent market cap. That's insane gains. And I know these numbers are crazy, but this is actually what happened. These gains really happened. The upside potential is just so extreme for altcoins. Now, right now, I'm looking around at coins with market caps under $100 million and thinking, yeah, these can, 50x, these can 100x, maybe some of them 200x. Like, there's a lot of opportunity there. This is your chance for financial independence if you're ready to take it. There will always be haters who will say, no, this will never happen. That's too crazy, Lark. Those numbers don't make sense. But it did happen. But, Lark, that won't happen again. Yeah, it will. Yeah, it will, because there is one single factor that has not changed since the last bull market for altcoins. Humans. If you somehow think that human greed has magically been cured since 2017, you're crazy. Investors tend to repeat the similar patterns in the market. Obviously, history does not repeat exactly, but it does rhyme. We are building right now the foundations for that insane altcoin rally. Now is the time to be accumulating the right altcoins. Hunt for those fundamentally strong coins for the bull run. Watch out, you're not buying garbage, right? So here are some simple tips on how you can maximize your chances on getting rich for certain and keeping it during this bull run without just getting lucky. The first tip is to be ready to take some risks. Any investment carries risk to some degree. That should be obvious. Yes, even Bitcoin. But if you want to make some truly insane returns, then you are going to have to take some risks beyond just buying Bitcoin. Now, the lower the market cap of the coin that you're looking at, the higher the potential of that coin to make big returns for you. And also, the higher potential you have to lose everything that you put into it. So there's also that downside potential. Now, there are some incredible coins at the moment with market caps under $100 million, like some really, really good quality stuff that's going to absolutely moon during this bull run. And there's some absolute incredible gems under the $20 million market cap zone. That's the real zone where you're going to get like that 50, 100x gain happening during the bull run. Now, this is personally where I have been focusing a big amount of my investing energy recently. For example, my two most recent acquisitions are Oasis and their Rose token and Ramp DeFi and their Ramp token. Now, these are both smaller cap coins with what I believe just absolutely lots of potential, very fundamentally strong concepts. Now, I bring these two examples up because I think it's emblematic of how I am personally approaching managing my risk with these lower cap altcoins. First, I am looking for public teams. I am personally not interested in stuff that's being launched by anonymous teams. Just as a general rule, that's me, right? I know that there are some successful altcoins that have been launched by anonymous teams, but they're the exception, right? They're generally few and far between. When you have an anonymous team, it just introduces too much risk in regards to seeing a rug pull happen. I also always keep an eye out for big backers. Ramp, for example, is backed by Alameda Research, which is the guys behind FTX Exchange. They're also backed by Arrington Capital, which is a massive player in the market. Rose, Oasis is Rose. They're backed by AZ16 and Pantera. Those are like some super, super big names. Now, these are some of the biggest firms in the industry. It's a major social proofing factor for me when I see that these big VCs have invested in these coins. I also very rarely put more than like 1 to 2% of my portfolio into these altcoin plays. The upside is that I get 10x or more back. The downside is I lose 1% of my portfolio if everything goes wrong with it, right? So it's a pretty good risk to reward calculation. It's a calculated risk and one that I'm more than willing to take because it usually works out in my favor during a bull run. You'll also notice that these coins are both new coins. I strongly believe that it's mostly the new coins that are going to pump the hardest during this bull run. They have the hype, they have the momentum, and they lack all of the salty bag holders just waiting to dump on you every time the market pumps a little bit. And keeping it real too, some of these older coins are just totally overvalued zombies, really just totally useless coins. Sure, I know some of them are going to pump because the market is irrational, but I'm not investing in that crap personally. That's not interested, no thanks. Now, if you really want to maximize your gains, you should also be watching out for token sales. Now, 2020 has been just crazy in terms of token sales. Token sales are back in fashion. Get on the trend while it's going, right? The chairs will stop at some point and it'll be crazy again, but while it's going, it's definitely a worthwhile endeavor. I fully expect this to continue throughout 2021. There are new projects coming out weekly. We're watching the best ones, of course, over in the Wealth Mastery newsletter. So again, make sure you're checking that out. We're keeping you up to date with all the hottest, latest sales. But the token sales of today, they tend to be the hot coin of tomorrow. So do try to get into those sales if you can. Now, obviously, the private sale, that's when you're going to get the best return. It usually requires like a bigger buy-in, like you usually have to put in like $10,000 or $20,000 to get into a private sale. Public sales, though, they often go extremely fast, but you can get into them. It is possible. You have to be there, waiting, ready to go. You might be able to get in with as little as like $400 or $500 into the public sales, right? So it's well worth trying to do. Also, Americans, I'm sorry, guys, but you're almost always excluded from token sales thanks to the SEC. You can thank those guys, right? But You can buy the tokens on Uniswap once they list. That's totally legit. You can do that. Now, there is usually a quick pump on listing followed by some kind of inevitable dump shortly after listing, so you can usually grab a decent priced bag of these cryptos. You might not get it as cheap as the other guys, but you can still get it relatively cheap and you can still get some really great returns. So don't ignore these token sales and them when they just list for everybody out there who doesn't make it into the token sales, right? You can still make money on these. The next thing you need to be doing is to be watching the trends. Now, what made the biggest gains in 2020? DeFi, NFTs, oracles, and anything related to Polkadot. Now, these trends will likely continue, but for example, some of these are getting quite saturated. Oracles, we could see that trend shift rather quickly as the market really just gets flooded with Oracle coins. There's so many of them coming to the market these days, and the good oracles will still do well, but you have to kind of start separating out the wheat from the chaff, right? The market does not require 50 oracles. Might require 4 or 5 though, so try to find the good ones. The big trends to be watching, in my opinion, coming up in 2021, insurance, projects building on Elrond chain, that could see almost a Polkadot level of hype in 2021, so definitely something to keep an eye on. And yes, of course, DeFi still has a long way to go. I think we're going to see a whole new range of stuff happening in DeFi. It's a mega trend, and yes, still NFTs are on the table. We're still so early for the NFT space, so it's going to be huge as well. As always, when playing the altcoin game, don't let your greed screw you up. The harsh truth is that a lot of these altcoins, they're not going to make it long term. It's just what it is, guys. It's the market. There's a lot of speculation here. You've got to take your profits. If your coin just did like a 10x or something, you got to pull your capital out of that, man. At least get your capital back so you're not losing money if the coin goes down. But preferably in that situation, take some money out, man. Pay yourself. Take out 40, 50% of your position. Actually pay yourself. Actually make some profits and get your capital back. And then the rest of it can just be a moon bag. If it goes to zero, who cares? If it goes to the moon, awesome. The biggest mistake that investors make playing altcoins during a bull market is not frickin' taking profits. There are so many stories of people who became millionaires for like 1 week or maybe 2 weeks in 2017, and then within 6 months they were actually deep in losses. The market moved that quickly. Don't let that be you. Play the trends. Take profits as a habit. You're gonna make it. You're going to get very, very well off from this bull run if you do. If you do this right, then next year I think you can absolutely alter your financial destiny for the rest of your life, but you have to be diligent, you have to be ready for it, and you have to take those risks and take those profits. But those are just my 2 Satoshis. What are your tips for making money with altcoins? Please share them down below so that new investors can learn from your experience. I know a lot of you guys have been around in this market for a few years, so share your altcoin investing wisdom down there in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.